Pulmonoscorpius. The name sounds like a medical condition. It was worse. A scorpion the size of a sturdy terrier, 70 centimeters long, built during the Carboniferous period when oxygen levels ran so high that everything with legs just kept growing. It wasn't a water creature pretending to be land. It was fully terrestrial, fully committed, fully nightmare. Its lungs, hence the name, were designed for air breathing at a time when most scorpions hadn't figured that out yet. It didn't sting prey to slow it down. Scientists believe it used that tail as a killing tool, not a warning. And here's the detail that ruins sleep. Those claws weren't for defense. They were for holding things still while the stinger finished the conversation. When Pulmonoscorpius disappeared, the oxygen dropped, the giants shrank, and the world exhaled. But evolution wasn't done stacking bad ideas on top of each other. Gorgonops, not a dinosaur, not a reptile, something worse. A Gorgonopsid, a synapsid predator from the Permian period, 260 million years ago, meaning it was closer to your ancestor than any dinosaur ever was. Let that settle. This creature, up to 3 meters long, was built like a wolf designed by someone who'd never seen mercy. Saber teeth reaching 12 centimeters, not for show, for puncturing the thick, armored hides of the tank-bodied herbivores it hunted. Its gait was semi-erect, faster than the sprawling reptiles of its time. It didn't wait, it chased. Fossils show it dominated the late Permian food chain so completely that when the Permian extinction hit and wiped out 96% of marine species and 70% of land vertebrates, Gorgonops went with it. The planet had to nearly die to stop it. And what replaced it was somehow stranger, Tanystropheus, a 6-meter reptile. Half of that length was just neck, not exaggerating. 3 meters of neck attached to a relatively small body, walking along shorelines 242 million years ago during the Triassic. For decades, scientists had no idea what this thing even was. Some thought the neck bones were pterosaur wing struts. That's how wrong everything looked. Then the fossils clarified. It lived near water, likely dangling that impossible neck over the surface, snatching fish and squid like a living fishing rod that evolution built on a dare. Recent research revealed something stranger. Juveniles and adults were eating completely different prey, occupying different ecological niches within the same species. 2 lifestyles, 1 body plan, and a neck so extreme that even now, looking at reconstructions, the brain just rejects it. Nature wasn't testing ideas with Tanystropheus. Nature was procrastinating on good ones. But on land, something with teeth and a very bad attitude was already making worse decisions. Daeodon, called the hell pig. Not a pig, not even close to a pig. An entelodont, a family of mammals so aggressive and architecturally bizarre that classifying them has frustrated scientists for decades. Lived during the Oligocene and Miocene, roughly 23 to 29 million years ago. Stood 1.8 meters at the shoulder, weighed up to 900 kilograms. Head alone was nearly a meter long, loaded with bony knobs and flanges that paleontologists believe served as muscle attachment points for a catastrophic bite, or as armor during the face-biting territorial battles these animals almost certainly had with each other. Bite force strong enough to crush bone completely. Fossil sites show Daeodon caching food, burying kills, returning to them. Strategic, patient. Trackways suggest it followed other predators, harassing them off kills. A 900-kilogram opportunist that practiced intimidation as a lifestyle. When Daeodon died out, the grasslands lost their most unpleasant resident. The seas, however, had been keeping their own secrets far longer. Saka Bambaspis. No jaws, no paired fins, no teeth. Just a 25-centimeter armored fish drifting through the Ordovician seas 465 million years ago. And yes, it looks exactly like the meme. 2 wide-set eyes, a circular gaping mouth, the universal face of something that has absolutely no idea what's happening. The internet found it hilarious. But here's the part that stops being funny. Sacabambaspis is among the earliest known vertebrates, the great-great-grandmother of everything with a spine, including you. That derpy little face staring blankly into an ancient ocean is where your face started. Your eyes, your jaw structure, your skull. All of it traces back to something that looked like a confused dinner roll with ambitions. It didn't need to be terrifying. It just needed to survive long enough. And it did. Then something came along that had figured out jaws and used them with a vengeance. Inostrancevia, the apex predator of the Permian. A Gorgonopsid even larger than its cousins, reaching up to 3.5 meters in length with saber teeth hitting 15 centimeters. Found originally in Russia. But here's where the story gets scientifically unsettling. Recent fossil evidence published in 2023 suggests Inostrancevia migrated from what is now Russia all the way to South Africa, covering thousands of kilometers, to fill predator vacuums left by local extinctions. It didn't wait for prey to come to it. It followed the food across a continent. That kind of ecological responsiveness in a Permian predator suggests behavioral flexibility nobody expected from something this old. It sat at the very top of the food chain, hunted the largest herbivores alive at the time, and moved when the landscape demanded it. Then the Great Dying came, and even Inostrancevia couldn't negotiate with a mass extinction. The skies, though, were already running their own unhinged experiments. Rhamphorhynchus, a pterosaur from the late Jurassic, 148 to 163 million years ago, with a roughly 1.8 meter wingspan and a diamond-shaped tail vein that functioned as a rudder during flight. Its teeth angled outward, designed to snag fish from the water's surface mid-flight without slowing down. Fossils with fish bones preserved inside the ribcage confirm this, but one specimen tells a different story entirely. Fossil WDC CSG 255 shows a Rhamphorhynchus preserved inside the body of a large fish called Aspidorhynchus, alongside a smaller fish the pterosaur had just caught. The fish didn't hunt the pterosaur. It accidentally snagged its wing during a surface strike and couldn't let go. Both animals died locked together. A double-death accident frozen in stone. One was hunting. One made a fatal mistake. Neither survived the encounter. Rhamphorhynchus vanished at the end of the Jurassic. What filled the predator gap on land, though, was somehow more unsettling in its design. Machaeroides, a creodont. Not a saber-toothed cat, not a felid. Something that arrived at saber teeth entirely independently, 45 to 50 million years ago in the Eocene, and did it first. About the size of a bobcat, with elongated upper canines mirroring the design of the much later Smilodon, but built into a completely different family tree. Evolution invented the saber-tooth at least twice. Makyoides was the first draft. It hunted in forests that no longer exist, in ecosystems so foreign that even the plants would be unrecognizable. Its entire lineage died out, replaced by the carnivore order that includes every cat, dog, bear, and seal alive today. Makyoides didn't win the long game, but it proved that saber teeth were such a successful solution that nature kept returning to the blueprint long after the original was gone. And that's the real horror buried inside this list. Not any single creature, the pattern. Evolution doesn't invent once. It drafts, discards, and rebuilds the same nightmare across different bodies and different eras. The armored fish, the saber-tooth, the ambush predator with the impossible anatomy. Same logic, different centuries. Which means the question was never which of these was the creepiest thing that ever lived. The question is, which version evolution is currently drafting? Hit subscribe, drop a like, ring the bell, and tell me in the comments, which one of these would you least want to meet on an average Tuesday?